Hello there, good morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social. I'm Rena Obozeghie. Welcome to a new week. Now, Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi and his Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi, they've contradicted themselves on the account of what actually happened on his way to Abuja yesterday. Now, the commissioner had confirmed that it was an attempted assassination on Yahaya Bello's life by men in military uniform who waylaid his convoy and shot sporadically at all the vehicles in the convoy. The governor conversely said, while speaking for himself later on, and he says that the report of attempted assassination wasn't the case in any way.
You're not doing me any favor by putting the fake news out there that Governor Yahaya Bello escaped assassination when there was nothing of that nature. So there are politics, to be alluded to it. Some believe that I don't need to be given any bad publicity whatsoever. I don't need that. That is number one. Number two, political opponents may want to take it out of context, but this is just a fact. There's nothing more. You're hearing it from myself, and that's exactly what happened. I'm inside my car. The security agencies, especially the police, were ahead. Some are behind. Inside my car, I already know exactly what happened, but I know that there's a fracas between the military and the police. And it is resolved there and then. It didn't take us 5 minutes. We got it resolved and we left there. And then we drove smoothly down to Abuja here. So anybody that is alluding any other thing to it, that is your problem.
Okay, let's have some reactions to this. King of Gold says it might be a script written by Bello to frame up a political opponent in Kogi for assassination attempt. Also, reaction, God's great child says he or she who does not know Yahaya Bello will believe this attack story. He must have staged this to make the world and Nigerians have sympathy for him to take their minds off his satanic plans towards the coming election. Reasonable Kogites know this guy, Bello, well. And lastly, Ade says, trouble in paradise, wishing all the injured military personnel a quick recovery. Well, talking about election and the safety in the state, the Commissioner for Information, who maybe does not have the true state of what happens now because his governor has come out to say, oh, what he said is a lie, actually assured of security, and he says it was from political opponents who wants to scare electorate ahead of the November 11 polls in that state. So security has been assured by the government. So we move away from this now to say that INEC's former boss, Jega, was with the senators in Akwa Ibom State for their 2-day retreat by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, that's NILDS, and he is thinking that the Electoral Act 2022 already needs an amendment. He's suggesting that the power given to the president to appoint who heads INEC and national commissioners should be retrieved so that the commission stops being partisan. Apparently, someone just agreed. Also, electronic transmission should be made mandatory from the next election year, that's 2027, and that swearing in should be suspended until court processes are done with. And that was it in Akwa Ibom at their 2-day retreat. Let's have some reaction to this development as it happened on the social media. Mark Landam says, exactly, why can't an electoral body elect its leadership? Also in reaction, Omo Iyaticha says, law is laughing out loud, and he says, but he never gave this advice to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan when he nominated and appointed you as INEC Chairman. For another user, Okechukwu Uche, it says, you benefited from it even though you were right, but I won't take you serious. All school elections started from you. And final reaction is from Duru, who says, even if the INEC chairman is appointed by another sector, the system would allow him to function effectively. The president remains the president. He can manipulate every area. Okay, so let's see how it happens. He said we should stop practicing what we practice, but he didn't go ahead to tell us, who is better now to appoint the office or which organization should be heading that responsibility. But It looks like the debate on whether or not the credentials of Nigeria's sitting president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, are authentic or not seems to be far from being over, as 30 minutes into the evening Sunday, that's about 4:30 p.m., the media team of Atiku Abubakar had a timeout with newsmen to intensify calls for the public presentation of Tinubu's certificate. Now, while they were clarifying the name Siddiq Abubakar, the 1973 affidavit sworn by Atiku on a Saturday that challenged the president to present at least his certificate from the government college in Lagos State, the school that was founded about 4 years after his acclaimed graduation.
Or the affidavit of Atiku Abubakar was signed on a Saturday. To see if it was really an absurdity to have court papers signed on a Saturday. The outcome of our findings showed clearly that there are court papers that were signed on Saturdays in the year 1973. Atiku Abubakar's affidavit was not the only one signed on Saturday, as the con men would want you to believe. To be called the president of a country is to be an approximation of the values that such a country stands for. Nigeria does not stand for forgeries and impersonation. It is therefore on this note that we yet again call on President Bola A. Tinubu to follow the example of Atiku Abubakar, to clear the air about the doubts and kurukere about his past.
Okay, so that was summarily it yesterday in Abuja. Frank, in reaction to this, says, now where Tinubu go start from safe? Why? He has like 4 different years of birth, graduated from a college even before it was established. His so-called transcript has female with a female SSN serial number belonging to a female. How? He bought his Chicago State University certificate in the Lagos black market. For Jonesboro, it says that guy don't care about his certificate stuff because he knows nothing can be done to him. And more reaction. This one is coming for Atiku now. St. John says, I am not a Bulaba fan, but Atiku will never rule this country. And finally, T says, Atiku cannot honestly say what he said, a 2-time vice president living in another country. Okay, to our final story. Okay, so we have to go. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'll see you again tomorrow.